Hello, welcome back to another video. Going up against Wayward One Expert Difficulty. I forget how many this is. 5? 6? Something like that. So, Wayward One is one of the nemesises from the Nameless Expansion for Aeons End, 2nd edition. He's pretty cool. He's got this little position chart over here, and he starts in position 1. And basically, you can only do full damage to him if you're casting a spell from the same position he's currently in. So he's in position 1, so you have to cast a spell from your first breach. And then as he shifts, which he does when he unleashes, he discards a spell in the breach he shifts to, or he does damage to Gravehold. So you can, if you get a multiple unleash, you can shift from the first position to the second to the third, discarding a second and third position spell, and and then causing the first position spells get prepped, go against them, basically do nothing. On the normal mode, he takes half damage from misaligned spells. In expert difficulty, he only takes 1 damage from misaligned spells. And that includes the creatures too, so his creatures have an alignment as well. So I did swap out my mages. I'm taking Lash this time instead of Brahma, keeping Jan. So Lash is going to start with the first breach open, second costing 3, third 9, fourth 7. And his unique card is Court Shard. It works as a gem, gaining 1 ether, but it also reveals the top card of the turn order deck. You may then place that on the bottom or top as you return it. And if you reveal a player turn order card, you get an additional 1. So this goes from 1 ether to 2. And then his special ability, Quicken Thought, allows you to take a turn order card that has already been played and shuffle it back into the turn order deck. And that player, that's card gets shuffled back in, takes 1 damage. So very, very powerful ability. We also have Jan. Her first 2 breaches are open. Her third costs 9. Her fourth costs 10. Her special ability is Black Mirror to allow you to cast any prepared spell without discarding it, and then cast that prepared spell again. So what's nice about her is, say, Wayward One's in the 3rd breach, and Lash has something prepped, but it's Jan's turn. She can use Black Mirror to double cast Lash's 3rd breach spell, and then cast her own. You can also, because it activates during your main phase, a minor benefit is, say you had something on her 3rd breach, you cast it, then you prep something in her 3rd breach, then you can cast Black Mirror and double cast it directly into. And her unique card is Moonstar Shard. Gain 1 Aether, but you can also gain a 2nd Aether that can only be used to purchase a gem. All right, and then for our store for this game, we're using Jade. Cost 2, gain 2. Searing Ruby, cost 4, gain 2, but gain an additional 1 that can only be used for a spell, so 3 towards the spell. And Burning Opal, cost 5, gain 3. You may discard a card in your hand to allow your ally to draw a card. And then for our relics, we're taking Focusing Orb, cost 4, focus any player's breach, or destroy this to restore 3 life to Gravehold. And Temporal Helix, cast any player's prepared spell without discarding it. So it's a free cast, and it can work on either player. So again, if you have something in that 3rd breach, you can use this to cast that without discarding it, and you can do it for either player. And then for our first spell, we're taking Amplify Vision, cost 4. Focus your closed breach with the lowest focus cost. This is going to help us get our breaches open. Deals 2 damage, 3 if all of your breaches are open. Then we also have Lava Tendril. It's another 4 cost. Deals 3 damage. And if you leave it prepped instead of casting it, it deals 1 instead to not use it. And then we have a 3rd spell is also 4 cost, which is Blaze. Deals 2 damage, plus 1 for each additional time you've cast Blaze this turn, and for each other Blaze you currently have prepped. So this will go from 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 damage, going up to 6 in the 3rd and 4th breaches, and it does not reduce as you cast them. So if you have 4 of them prepped, it's 5, 5, 6, 6, and it just stays that way. So 22 damage you can get. And then Scrying Bolt, 6 cost, deals 5 damage. You may also pay a charge to reveal the top 2 cards of the Nemesis deck and then return them in any order. All right. We're going to start with Lash. He's going to prep Spark, and he's got 3, 4, 5 Aether, and he will buy a Burning Opal. Jan's going to go next. She's got 2 Sparks she's going to prep, and then she gets 3, 4 towards a gem, and she will buy a Ruby. 3 crystals, 2 sparks. We then get the Nemesis. I'm going to do a better job about holding these up for the camera. Agony Field, destroy a card in hand that costs 2 Aether or more. Power to Unleash, any player discards 3 cards in hand and then draws 1 card. So I'll activate on the first activation in the next round. Lash is going to go next. He will cast Spark for 1. And then pay 3 to open second breach. And prep 2 sparks. So I went with Lash for multiple reasons. 1, I love Quicken Thought. It's a huge benefit. Going up against any of these Nemesises, but also his breaches are pretty cheap to open up, and I really want to get all my breaches open for both mages. It's part of my thinking there. And he still has 3 sparks, which is pretty good. It gives you a decent amount of damage output early on, since basically all your spells do 1 damage, and these sparks can be used defensively. So it's Nemesis' turn. We're going to discard 1 power token. And then we get the Haze Spewer minion. Pretty cool picture. He has 5 life. Gravehold suffers damage equal to his current life, and then on each activation. And then this minion suffers 1 damage. So if he were to activate next, he would do 5 damage to Gravehold and then be reduced to 4 life. But we do get Jan. She will cast both sparks on the Haze Spewer. She'll drop him from 5 to 3. We'll prep 2 sparks, and then for 3, she doesn't have any good options. Forgot about that. So I will actually focus her 3rd breach. Terrible option. I've already done it, so I forgot about that from last time. And that's the first round. Excuse me, I'm sniffling a little bit. I got a little bit of a runny nose. I'm not sure why. I've been working a lot of hours, 50 plus hours a week. So I think there's only 5 cards. 2, 3, 4, no, 6. I'm running a little bit on fumes here. That's why I've been doing a little bit less videos. I've been working Saturdays and just haven't had as much time to record. All right, we do get Lash. He will cast both sparks. Normally I wouldn't do that, but I want to get that Haze Spewer under control. All right, Court Shard is going to be worth 2. So this is actually 3, 5, 8 Aether, which is awesome. So I'm going to take Amplify Vision and a Searing Ruby. Nope, and a Focusing Orb. That's what I'm gonna do. Amplify Vision, Focusing Orb. Who's got that stupid thing too? All right. Then we get Jan. She's going to cast one of these sparks, killing the hay spewer, neutralizing him, preventing all damage. So that's always good. She'll prep that second spark, and then that's worth 2. That's worth 3. 4 towards a gem, and that's 5. So 5, 6 towards a gem, or 6 towards a spell. So she's going to take an Amplified Vision and a Jade. Two, 3, 4. Nemesis' turn. Agony Field activates. I forgot about that, so I forgot to try to destroy it. Unleash. So this is going to shift Wayward One into the second position and discard Gian's Spark to prevent the damage to Grateful. Any player discards 3 cards in hand and then draws 1. We're going to have Gian discard 2 Sparks and a Crystal. And then she's going to draw Amplify Vision. Cool. Oh, sorry. I actually didn't draw a card yet, so we can need to double draw. It's okay, Raina. I know. Daddy's shooting. No bark. No bark. You be a good girl, and you'll get a special treat after. Quantum Maze. Ow. Ah. Power 2. Hey. Hey. Nope. None of that. No pawing at me. Yeah. Do you want me to walk you outside? I'll walk you outside. I'll be up in a little bit. Sorry about that. Normally I record these videos in the morning. And this is, 6, 7 o'clock at night after work that I'm doing this because I haven't had any other time. So it's outside of their normal schedule. All right, Quantum Maze, Power 2. If a player has an aligned spell, a player with an aligned spell will suffer 5 damage. So that's 2 power. But we then got a second Nemesis draw, so we're going to take 1 off of Quantum Maze. And we get Irradiate. Any player suffers 2 damage. Any player discards a misaligned prep spell. Oh, that's not power. That activates immediately. Okay, so Jan's going to take the 2 damage. The one risk I'm doing with this setup, I don't know if you guys noticed, is there is no healing. So I will probably swap out either Lava Tendril or Blaze for Essence Theft. On my next attempt. And we're going to discard this Spark as a misaligned prep spell. Okay, we do get Jan. She's going to prep Amplify Vision in the second breach. And then for 2, she's going to buy a Jade. Ooh, look at that red and green. Looks so pretty. All right, Lash is going to prep 2 Sparks. And for 3, he will buy a Jade or Focus of Breach. Yeah, I'm going to have him Focus of Breach too. Trying something new. Oh, I'm stupid. Okay, so on the next activation, Quantum Maze is going to go off, which will do 5 damage to any player who has an aligned prep spell, and they both do. So I actually need both of them to have their activations before the first Wayward One, or one of them's taking 5 damage, which is a lot when you can't heal. Nemesis goes, so we're gonna have Lash just straight up take 5 damage. That's really unfortunate. I wasn't paying attention. So we get Banesire. Unleash is his persistent special ability, and he has 6 life. So this guy, I've lost more games to this card than probably any other card in the Nemesis deck, but usually because he comes out early. Double activation. Alright, so we're going to Unleash. That means Wayward One moves to the 3rd position. I don't have any spells prepped to the 3rd breach, so Gravehold's going to take 3 damage. That drops us to 27. And then we draw another card. Blinking Terror. This minion is assigned to position 3. Persistent. Any player loses 1 charge or suffers 2 damage. Wow. Okay. Luckily, all 4 of these are going to be player cards. He has 6 life. So hopefully I can get these in check. Alright. Lash is going to start out. He's going to cast both Sparks. It's going to do 2 damage to the Bane. Actually, he's going to do that to the Blinking Terror. They both do 1 no matter what. So that brings him from 6 to 4. So then I'm going to prep Amplify Vision and Spark. And we're going to focus 3rd breach using the Focusing Orb. Quartz Shard is worth 2. Burning, so he has 5 Aether, with which to buy another Burning Opal. Alright, now we get Jian. She's gonna cast Amplify Vision for 2 on the Banesire, because it's misaligned for the Blinking Terror, so it'll only do 1 damage there. And then she has, what is this? 4, 6 Aether, 7 towards the spell. Oh no. 4, 5, no. 7. Right? 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 towards a gem or a spell. So in that case, it's going to take Amplify Vision and Searing Ruby. Oh my god, how did I get 4 Sparks in my hand? I've never seen that before. That's insane. That's absolutely crazy. Okay. Lash is going to go, same thing as before. With Jian, Amplify Vision is going to be cast against the Banesire. Just going to focus his 3rd breach. And Spark is going to be cast against Blinking Terror. And then for 5, you will buy another Burning Opal. And we get Jan. And prep 2 Sparks. Discard the crystal. I was made to draw 3. Okay. So I still need some luck when card draw. But this is going to be a very, very short game. Alright, Jan first. We're going to cast both Sparks and kill the Banesire. We will then prep 2 Sparks. And we then have 4 Aether, which is enough for a Focusing Orb. That's a nice hand. Alright, and we get Lash. Prep 2 Sparks. Focusing Orb will be used to open the 3rd breach. And then we generate 4 Aether, which is enough for a focusing orb. Lava Tundra. Okay, and we get to go again. We're going to cast both sparks for 2. Blinking Terror. Prep, Amplify Vision, and Spark. And then Quartz Shard, we're going to take the Nemesis card, put that on the bottom. It's worth 1, 2, and so we have 5. Buy another Burning Opal. I'm okay with him, Ulash, having all of the Burning Opals, because that's going to give me the ability to charge up his special ability pretty much at will later on in the game. Okay, sweet. And we did get Jan. So we're going to cast both sparks. For 1 is going to kill the Blinking Terror. So that worked out very nicely. And 1 is going to do 1 damage to Wayward One. We're then going to prep 2 Amplify Visions. And then we have 6 Aether, 8 towards a spell. Do I want to grab 2 blazes? Yeah. I do. We're going to grab 2 blazes, put them in next to each other. Nemesis finally gets to go, but the board has been cleared. And we get Venomite. Minion with 9 life. Persistent. Player with the lowest life suffers 2 damage. Or any player may discard a prep spell that costs 3 or more. And Nemesis gets to go again. So we will discard the second Breach Amplify Vision on GN to prevent Venomite's damage. And we then get Awaken. Unleash twice and Gravefold suffers 3 damage. Or place the most recently discarded minion discarded minion card in the Nemesis discard pile back into play. Okay. I think I will do that. Because I'm going to do that. Bring the Blinking Terror back. Nope, I never gave him health tokens. 7, 8, 9. Hope you guys are all doing well. 2. I've been missing making these videos. I did buy the Depths expansion. I can see it on my desk right over there. It's still in the plastic wrap. So if I do defeat the Wayward One, I will be moving on to that next. Oh, not fortunate. Okay. So in this case, we will have to discard Amplify Vision again. And I don't have any charges, so Jian's going to take 2 damage. Then we get, this is probably a game loser for me. Warper, 9 life. Minion is aligned to position 4. When a player deals damage, that can only damage this minion. This means that any spell cast from any breach except the 4th will only do 1 damage to him, no matter what. And I have to attack him before attacking anything else. So that is not good for me. At all. Okay. Prep a Spark. 4, 5 towards a gem, Burning Opal. I'm still buying economy cards. definitely did not get my engine going the way I wanted it to quickly enough. Jan's going to go again. Spark's going to go off, deal 1 damage to the Warper, brings him to 8. Prep Spark to first. Focusing Orb will focus her 3rd breach. And for 4, she will buy another Blaze. No, Focusing Orb. Right, we do get Lash. He will cast both Spark and Amplify Vision, which will both do 1 damage, doing 2 to the Warper. It does focus 4th breach. Then we get 3, 5, 7 Aether. I'm going to actually discard this crystal to allow Jan to draw an extra card. That actually worked out really nicely. This still leaves me with 6, which is enough for a Scrying Bolt. Okay, we do get to go again. Focusing Orb is good to open up the 4th breach. Cool. I will prep Lava Tendril and Spark. And this is worth 4 Aether. Focusing Orb. Okay, Nemesis gets to go. Alright. Venomite's going to discard my Lava Tendril, unfortunately. I did not buy a charge because I'm stupid. Because I'm just not, my head's not in this properly. So that's 2 more damage to Jan. Warper does not have an ability, thankfully. But then we get Feedback Coil, power 2. The player with the most misaligned prep spells suffers 3 damage and discards 2 cards. To discard, spend 7 Aether. Now, I'm not sure on this one, but I wonder if you can defeat this. I don't think you can. I think you just have to pick one. But if you had no misaligned cards or spell cards at all, would you still suffer the ill effects? I think you probably would. You just have to pick one. Because it does have a discard ability. So I've only done 2 damage to the Wayward One this whole game. So I'm still kind of staying alive, but I'm not putting on any offensive ability at all. And they get to go again. Which means Jan suffers 2 damage. Lash suffers 2 damage. Yeah. This isn't going very well. Power token comes off, and we draw. Unleash twice. Any player suffers 2 damage. Okay. So that's going to move us to the 4th and the 1st position. That discards that Spark and does 3 damage to Gravehold. And then Lash will take 2 damage. So he has 1 life, Jan has 2. I haven't even gotten a charge this whole game. So I really... I did not play this well. Maybe instead of Temporal Helix, I'll get Mage's Talisman. No, I need Essence stuff. I'll probably do Essence stuff instead of Blaze. Man. Every time I play, I keep getting rid of the expansion cards. Alright. Jan's gonna go. This is 4, 6 towards a spell. Not enough to discard Feedback Coil. We'll prep 2 Blazes. And she'll buy a Scrying Bolt. And draw 3. Gets to go again. Alright, casting those Blazes are each worth 3 damage. But they're both misaligned, so they just do 2. Warper still has 4 life. She then preps both Amplify Visions, and for 2, she buys a charge, actually. Try to prevent that next Blinking Terror damage. Finally learning my lesson. And Lash's turn. We're going to cast Spark for 1 on the Warper. Prep Spark. And that's worth 6, 7, 8, 9 Ether. Why did I buy Blazes for Jan if I didn't even open her breaches? I'm gonna buy 2 Blazes for Jan. And discard, since that only costs 8, I'm also discarding this crystal to allow her to draw 1. I'm gonna let my dogs in real quick. I'll go outside with you after I finish playing. Yeah, so he just bought her 2 Blazes, so it is his turn again. That's enough. No punch. No punch. He's gonna cast, Lash is gonna cast Spark, dealing 1 damage to the Warper. He's gonna prep Scrying Bolt. Five Vision and Spark, and for 2, he's gonna buy a charge. Okay. Have to discard a prep spell. We're going to discard the Amplify Vision. We're going to discard a charge, prevent Blinking Terror. Feedback Quill activates. Player with the most misaligned prep spell. Ugh. Suffers 3, and let's see. So that's actually Lash, 2nd and 3rd. So it discards both of his spells. And he takes 3 damage, becomes exhausted. Which also causes a double unleash. So 2nd and 3rd, so that discards Jan's Amplify Vision, and we take 3 damage on Gravehold. Whew. Oh. Discards 2 cards. I don't think I did that right. Well, I'm bringing those 2 back because it's 2 regular cards, so he discards not prepped. But I still got to draw. Nidomaw. How did that get in there? I feel like that's really late for Nidomaw. 11 life. Gravehold suffers 2 damage. So I do not have the firepower to even come close to handling these minions. I did not get my breaches open properly. Lash has his breaches open, but not enough spells to make good use of them. Jan's almost there. I don't even have any temporal helixes, so I did not play this properly at all. I think the idea is you want to get those lava tendrils in there and just leave them just plinking away. One day, you know, at least one feature. Oh, and Nemesis goes again. Yeah. All right. So Dynamite discards that. Charge saves Jan from death. Grateful takes 2 from Anita Maw, brings us to 19. And we get a new card. Fractured Nebula, power 2, shift Wayward One to position 4. Grateful suffers 8 damage. Players may collectively discard up to 2 aligned spells. For each spell discarded this way, prevent 4 of that damage. I believe that only works for cards in position 4, because the way that's worded. Okay, we do get Lash's turn. He will use both focusing orbs to open Jan's third breach. Where are we at? What a waste. Scramble and Spark will kill the Warper. Which at least allows me to attack other things. Burning Opal generates 3, which is enough for a charge. This is pathetic. Obviously, I'm going to lose. My chances of winning are 0. Alright, Jan's going to prep 2 sparks. And she generates 6 Aether. Blaze and a charge. Nemesis gets to go. Do not have anything for the Venomite, so that's kills Jan. That's game over. 2 damage. So not my best game by any means. I didn't do any damage to Wayward One at all. I'm sorry, my brain's just not fully into it. I overbought focusing orbs. I didn't actually need them for healing, even though, you know, I might pretty soon. I'm not getting the damage output I need here. So that means one of the 4 cost spells has to go. I don't want to get rid of Blaze. So here's the ideas with these. Amplify Vision is helping me to open up all my breaches so that I can then use Focusing Orbs to heal Grateful, because Grateful takes too much damage. Lava Tendrils, I need to get those and just leave them prepped. And they'll be defensive spells where they're basically just sitting there instead of a Spark in case there's Unleash happens, but it keeps plinking away at 1 damage every turn. If I can get each of them to have 2 Lava Tendrils out, that's 8 damage every round. But I gotta have the breaches open for it. Blazes, self-explanatory. Once I get that set up, I can then sit there with my 4 blazes. That's my defensive setup, and whatever breach Wayward One happens to be in, I can hit them for 5 or 6 damage per cast. And then I can Temporal Helix and Black Mirror it to double cast. And then Scrying Bolt is just a nice, safe 5-6 damage sitting in there. I don't know. I'm going to rethink these damage spells. I thought I would do something fun with this setup. The economy, I still struggle with this. I'm not getting enough to discard. Maybe I'll swap out rubies for diamonds or something. I'm not getting enough Aether to get these 7 Aether, 8 Aether generating discards. And Temporal Helix is almost necessary, but it's also like too expensive to actually get and use. So, unless, I guess I'll put Leeching Agate back instead of Ruby. Yeah. And then maybe Mage's Talisman for Temporal Helix. And then probably swap out Lava Tendril for Essence Theft. Because no healing is no bueno. That one doesn't work. Alright, let's try. That'll be my setup for the next game. Leave Temporal Helix in there for one more game. I think. But I could also pull out Sage's Brand, which seems like a really good, spell that's really designed for this. Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. If you got any tips, don't give it away. But I'm okay with tips. All right. Love you guys. Bye.